everyone, the Treasure Trove, and welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a different style video. This time I was inspired by like old YouTube and YouTube that I used to watch when I was first getting into like makeup really hardcore again. And I got the Lorac Mega Pro palette, Mega Pro 4, the Lorac Mega Pro 4 for Christmas, and I decided, you know, there are like 30 eyeshadows on this palette, and all the reviews I watched really showed you how to only do like one look with it. And I was like, hey, you know, like back in the old days of YouTube, we used to show like multiple looks for one palette. So I decided that over the next couple days I'm just gonna do like a couple looks with this palette. I figured I'd do one really warm toned look and one cool tone look, since this palette has an abundance of warm and cool toned shades of this. I was inspired for this look by fire, so like I put on my calcifer sweater and an orange beanie, and I did a cut crease for like the first time in so long, and it came out really nice on this eye and it came out absolutely terrible on this one. So we'll just like pretend this half of my face doesn't exist, because I think it looks pretty decent for my first cut crease in a while on this eye, but like terrible. Like I even messed up the liner. Like this eye was a task. So this will be my warm tone look from the palette, and I'm sure this video is going to be really long because it's going to have two looks in it, one warm tone and one cool tone, showing you like different ways that you can wear the Mega Pro 4 if you have it. And then I'll give my thoughts on this palette at the end. I've only worn it a couple times, so I can't tell you very much about it just yet, but stay tuned if you want to see how I got this look and how I got the next look, whatever that may be. And yeah, see you later. Hi guys, so it has been a month since I recorded this video, which I feel really bad about because when I recorded this video, this palette was on sale. But anyway, I still think I created two pretty cool looks with this, so we're gonna get right into it. I primed my eyes with my Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Just Beige. It's limited edition. I'm sorry, you can go in with whatever eye primer that you want. And I'm just taking the color Mocha on a Wet n Wild blending brush and buffing that into the crease. And one thing I really want to stress about this eyeshadow palette, if you have it, is if you're used to setting your eyeshadow primer with a skin toned eyeshadow like I am, do not do that with this palette at all. Like, it will make the eyeshadows so hard to blend. They'll all blend together, they'll all look muddy. So if you just go in straight after your eyeshadow primer with the eyeshadows, they work like a dream. They're amazing. So I'm just buffing all that out, blending out the edges to make it soft. And now I'm gonna go in with the shade Spice, which is probably my favorite color in this palette. If you can't tell, I really loved red toned eyeshadows. So I'm just taking that in the crease on a classic blender from Coastal Scents, just buffing that really in the outer V of my eye, concentrating on making that V shape, that cat eye shape, and then I'm just blending it out with my Pro Fluff brush from Coastal Scents, which is just like a MAC 217. Just adding a little more spice back with that classic blender. And I think this eyeshadow palette gets a very unfair rep from people. Like, I've heard a lot of people talk about how much they hate it and think it's boring, but I've created so many like really interesting looks with it. So I don't know, and I think the quality is really great. You can do so many different looks with this palette. So on a pointed blender from Coastal Scents, I'm taking the shade Blackberry and just intensifying my crease because I'm going to be doing a cut crease. The cut crease came out great on this eye and it looks super busted on the other eye. So I'm sorry, I'm not the best makeup artist, but I'm just intensifying that crease, getting ready to cut it with the shade Blackberry and just blending out the edges, so once again there are no harsh lines. Now I'm just going back in the shade with the shade Spice again to make this look super red, because like I said in the beginning, I was very inspired by fire for this look. For some reason, I don't know why. And once again, blending out the edges. There's lots and lots of blending, as usual with an eyeshadow look. I should do an eyeshadow look where like you don't blend, like some super avant-garde thing, because I feel like I spend most of my videos blending and that's very boring. Hello? Okay. Now I'm just cutting the crease with my LA Girl Pro Concealer, which is a perfect drugstore option for cutting your crease. So I'm just taking the concealer on a flat concealer brush, and I'm sorry I do most of it out of frame, and I'm taking the concealer all over my lid to meet up with the darkest part of my crease, you know, in the crease, like a cut crease. I'm just explaining this for those of you who might not know what a cut crease is. And then I took it and made the cut crease more of a cat eye shape, which is something I've never tried before. And then I just cleaned it up with my fingers. You know, I could have used a makeup wipe, but I decided to be ratchet and clean it with my fingers. So I'm just like blocking out my lid with a concealer. There you go. I did it. Woo! So taking this gold shimmery shade Honey, I'm just going to take that on a flat eyeshadow brush from Wet n Wilds, and I'm going to put it all over my lid and meet it up with my crease. I normally don't use like shimmery shades on my lid. I've been experimenting more and more with that lately because I think it's something that I don't take advantage of. So there you go. Now I'm just cleaning up my eyebrows with my e.l.f. eyebrow gel, and you can definitely see that now that the other eye is done, how messed up it is. I think I did pretty good on the first eye, but like I said, the second eye is terrible. Even the liquid liner, like when I go do my liquid eyeliner, like I do here with my LA Colors liquid eyeliner in black, it comes out really good on this eye, but on the other eye, I don't know what was wrong with me that day. So just pretend both of my eyes look good. And I'm sorry that I can never do my wing liner correctly on camera. I have to be like an inch away from the mirror, so I always end up doing it like out of focus or like out of frame. I apologize. So I skipped doing my blush, highlight, and lipstick on camera just because this is about an eyeshadow palette and more about the eye looks. So here's the completed look all together. I use this new Maybelline lipstick that I got recently. It's like an ultra matte lipstick in the shade Cruel Ruby, and I really, really like it. I don't have another red like that in my collection. And I think that a red lip just pulls the whole eye look together because I was going for a very fiery look. Apparently I'm voguing and being weird as usual. Don't even ask. I don't even know. So anyway, on to look number 2, and I'm just priming my eyes with the Maybelline Color Tattoo equivalent of Max Painterly Paint Pot. For the warm tone look, I use the equivalent of Soft Ochre because that one pulls warm on me, and because my skin's so neutral, and this one pulls cool. So I'm going in with the shade Oat on my fluffy Wet n Wild crease brush once again, and just buffing that through the crease just to lay down a transition color for all of these dark shades. With the shade Plum, that pretty pastel purple right there, I'm just taking that on a Coastal Scents Classic blender once again, and I'm just laying it down in the outer corner and then the inner corner of my eye, prepping it for the more halo style look because lately I've just been obsessed with halo eye. I don't know why. And then just blending that out with the Pro Blending Fluff brush again. Once again, I cannot say that word whatsoever. I don't know why I can't say that name. Now with the shade Vamp, I'm taking a pointed blender again, and I'm just once again laying it down. Once again, I've said once again probably 50,000 times in this video. I'm sorry. I'm laying it in the outer corner and the inner corner, and I know it looks crazy right now, but we're gonna blend. That's the theme of Halo Eye. It's blend, 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 blend. And I'm not the best at Halo Eye, but I still love doing it, or Spotlight Eye, whatever you want to call it. Now that we blended sufficiently, I'm taking the color Blackberry, and on a classic blender, I'm packing that where I lay down the other color on the inner corner and outer color, and this time I'm bringing it a little bit through the crease because it's the deepest shade and it's a matte shade, and I don't really enjoy putting shimmers or satins in my crease. You can do that, but it's more preferable and looks and blends better when you put mattes in the crease. So now I'm just blending out the edges so there's no harsh lines. I like when my halo eye, and a lot of just my eye looks in general, I like when they're really grungy and blown out and super messy. That's just something that I particularly like. So if you don't like that style, maybe you won't want to blend it out as far or make it as sloppy, but I just personally enjoy that look. So now I'm taking the star of the show, which is the shade Fairy Tale, and I'm using that same Wet n Wild flat small eyeshadow brush, and I'm packing that right in the center of the lid to make it the halo spotlight eye effect. And then going back in with the shade Blackberry and packing it in the inner and outer corner just so there's that depth still there and through the crease. And then we're gonna blend, but be careful not to touch the sparkly shade that you put down in the middle with your blending brush, because you don't want to blend that too much. You want that to be like the standout halo part of your eye. And I'm going back in with Fairy Tale and intensifying that a little bit and just blending out the teeniest tiny bit there and making it super blown out and grungy, like I said before. Now I'm going back and I'm adding more of that dark colors on the lower lash line to make it meet up with the outer V of the top line to make it just like one giant smoky halo eye goodness. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know. And then I'm just blending that out and buffing it out, making sure like it's super grungy and smoky. Going back in with the shade Fairy Tale just to make it super sparkly and pop, and then magically both my eyes are done. Now I'm just fixing up my crazy brows with my e.l.f. clear brow gel and adding some white eyeliner to make my eyes not look dead and some mascara. And then that's the completed look, because I'm going to come back with blush and highlight and lipstick on. And I hope that you really enjoyed the second look that I came up with this palette. I really like the cool tone shadows in this palette actually. So if you want to stick around and hear my full thoughts on this palette, I have a little mini review at the end, so just keep watching. Guys, so yeah, as I sniffle, this is my second look that I created with the palette. I had originally intended on it being way less dramatic than this, but hey, my creative juices are flowing. So I used more cool tones for this look, obviously. I used a bunch of these bottom row ones here, which are purple tones. I really wanted to go for a purple look, but I realized there isn't like any super bright purples in this, so I was kind of lost. The shade that is like the spotlight on my eye here is the shade Fairy Tale, and it looks like steely gray in the pan, but when you put it on your eyes it's like this lavender, cool lavender shimmer, and I really enjoy it. So now that I've played with this palette a little bit, I'm going to talk about the palette in general. So obviously it's the Lorac Mega Pro palette. It comes in this nice pretty pink packaging with gold letters here and silver letters here, and it has a big giant mirror, which I actually really appreciate. So if you're doing your makeup, you can like set it against something. Obviously it doesn't stay up by itself. It suffers from, it needs some palette Viagra, as Leisha from X Sparkage likes to say. But other than that, I don't know, I really like the packaging because it's very slim. It fits in my makeup drawer really nicely, and it would be good for traveling. The pink makes it really hard to keep it clean, and that's what I'm going to get into. So basically the top two rows here are all matte shades. Some of them are satin, like this shade here is a satin, but the top two shades are matte and the bottom two shades are shimmery or satin finishes, which I really like that. Here, I'll give you a close-up of it. There is a huge variety of colors in this palette, which is what I was drawn to, and a lot of them are not like what we're seeing in palettes these days, which is kind of why I got bored with eyeshadow palettes. And you know, makeup releases over the past year have kind of been like the same thing regurgitated over and over, and I kind of really got bored with that. So I really wanted something different, and that's why I asked for this for Christmas, and I'm really glad that I got it to play around with it. I love matte eyeshadows, and matte eyeshadows are what I primarily wear in my day-to-day life, and I know that Lorac is supposed to have some of the best matte formula like ever, and I've never tried Lorac, and I can tell you these mattes from what I've tried are very, very good. They're really buttery, they're really easy to blend, and they have like a lot of pigmentation. I've worn flamingo, butterscotch, mocha, oat, mahogany, blackberry, and spice, and a little bit of dark chocolate when I was playing around. So I've tried a huge variety of the mattes on this, and I was not disappointed by any of them. As far as the shimmers go, I haven't really played around too much with them, but I have tried honey, pearl slate, no, excuse me, honey, copper pearl, fairy tale, unicorn, and plum and vamp are what I'm wearing on my eyes now. And also very highly pigmented, very easy to blend. A lot of them, my biggest complaint, I don't know if this is a complaint, but one of my concerns with this eyeshadow palette is that what you see in the pan is not always what is on your eye, and I think that's because of the pink background of this palette, honestly. Like this, I said, looks very, like look how it looks like almost like a cool gray in the pan, but on my eye it's very much a lavender color. So I would recommend, if you're like what I did to get a real idea, like obviously honey and copper pearl, they look very similar in the pan. Like I was like, why would you have two of like the same color in this eyeshadow pan? But they're actually very different when I swatched them on my finger or on my hand, and I was wearing honey in my other look that I have in this video. So what I would recommend if you are getting ready to, if you have this palette, if you're getting ready to do a look and you're really not sure what goes with what, just to swatch them on the back of your hand just to get a good idea of like what the actual color is. I would swatch all of them for you, but I really don't have this set up for good eyeshadow swatches, plus there are 30 of these, and I don't know, I feel like no one wants to see that. I think there is another video on YouTube of someone who swatched all these. There aren't very many videos of this palette in general. That's kind of why I wanted to make this video, so I'm sorry if I let you down in that department. But what I would recommend is just swatching them before you put them on your eye, just to get an idea of the true color with this. So I'm very happy with this, and I definitely would recommend it. I hope you enjoyed the overall like theme of this video of doing 2 looks in one video. Am I like too far out? I don't know where. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this sort of video. I hope my voiceover isn't too awkward. I'm really bad at doing voiceovers. I have a few other videos planned, but let me know if you want like these style videos, like multiple looks with one palette, because I'd be more than happy to do that with any of the palettes I have, like my Modern Renaissance or just any of what I have for you. I don't have a lot of like high-end palettes that a lot of people have, but I could do more looks with the Lorac Mega 4. I could do some Modern Renaissance for you. Let me know what you think, and hit that like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want, and remember, stay cheap and lazy. Bye!